Yeah, you know what?
Liam Smith doesn't like it.
I'll go ahead and be honest with you. I'm good on Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith 3. I don't want to see it. But by the way, let me go ahead and say this. This is the best, and I've been covering Chris Eubank Jr. since Box Nation. When his pop would get in the ring and stare at him in the corner with just a vest on or a button up with the sleeves cut off. This is the best, most technically sound I've ever seen him. From the jab to the accuracy of the body shots, punch placement, not only the body shots. He's with undisputed champion, two-time undisputed champions, Terrence Crawford's trainer now, Bomac. When I say he looked great, looked phenomenal, looked like Liam Smith had no business being in there with him. Last trainer was Roy Jones, didn't look good. But at 33 years old, how was he now? 33 years old now. He can do something, especially in this wide open 160-pound division that he's in. But as far as a rematch, for me, a third fight, even though Liam Smith got the stoppage in the first fight, fourth round, I'm not sure if you can really sell a rematch with the way Eubank looked. By the way, look at that crowd. Packed house. But who knows? I mean, if you know, money tight over there at Boxer, maybe they can do it. But as far as Chris Eubank Jr. is concerned, maybe he has some options, especially when you think about Eubank Alim Hanallah, who needs an opponent. Erislandy Lara is supposed to be taking on Danny Swift Garcia, but they got to get a date. Vincenzo Gulateri, I've covered him before, is fighting Alim Hanallah to unify the IBF and WBO belts. And then Jamal Charlo, well, he's been going for 800 or so something days and getting smacked around by Caleb Plant. And you got Carlos Adames, who's the interim. So the WBC is off limits right now. But here's the stoppage. Liam Smith down once in round 4 and what round was this? Round number 10, the stoppage. Earlier in the fight, Chris Eubank Jr. had Liam Smith on the ropes and was throwing these flurries, but a lot of them punches didn't connect. It was more so a lot of just razzle dazzle, smoke and mirrors. But the body shots to me and the jab of Eubank Jr. is what I was really impressed with. And you can tell that Liam Smith was trying to get Eubank Jr. like catch him in between a shot. But overall, dude is nice. I can say he would beat Gulateri. He would beat him. He would beat Carlos Adames. The way Erislandy Lara's been looking lately, I would say tonight he would, and also Erislandy Lara's been fighting bullshit opponents. Like, go look at his resume. You know, Spike O'Sullivan. In this day and age, in this era, he's fighting Spike O'Sullivan. So I can see Chris Eubank Jr., if it was today, he can capture the IBF or the WBA title. Alim Hanallah is pretty good. You know, even though he got no real following, he's pretty good. So I want to hear what Eubank Jr. has to say. There he goes, Kali Saraland of Wasserman Promotions Boxing. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe, and TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Let's listen to the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin Parker calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 45 seconds of round number 10, declaring your winner by TKO, Chris Eubank Jr.
Respect.
Well, he's throwing every towel he can find out of the ring here, Eubank.
So let's look at the rankings and can see who's a realistic option for him. Because after all, you want to go for big fights. I say try to go for Alim Hanallah versus Gulateri winner. You know, go for a title shot. As you can see, he's ranked number 5 by the WBC. He'll likely take the number 3 spot. I don't see him with the WBA. Surprisingly, they got fucking Sergio Martinez in this joint. So not the IBF. So only. Wait, what's going on here? What are they showing?
To his advantage, he was switched on to the max here. He showed immense.
I thought there was some exchange. So only by the WBC is he ranked. But don't be surprised if he pops up in the WBO rankings or the IBF sooner than later. They even got Shane Mosley Jr. ranked. We're going to take one more jump cut and wait for the post-fight interview.
Congratulations, a wounded animal is a dangerous animal. In this very ring, back in January, your career looked to be over at this level. To do that tonight, in those circumstances, can you try and put that into words for us? It is revenge.
It had to be. I had no other choice. There's too many other big fights out there for me that the fans want to see that I want to be involved in. I had to beat Liam tonight. You know, I threw so many punches, the lettering on my shorts fell off. It's incredible. But yeah, listen, Liam is a warrior. I respect him. I respect his whole team and his family and his brothers. They always come out. They always put it all on the line. He didn't give up. He fought to the last into the last second. So yeah, big up to Liam and his team.
Are you able to pinpoint why you were so much better than you were tonight compared to January?
Listen, I'm not going to lie. That was what happened tonight was supposed to happen in January. But like I said, it wasn't my night. I trained hard for that fight. I trained hard for this fight. The focus is always there. I dedicate my life to this sport. And yeah, now we're on to bigger and better fights. There's some big names out there. I see a few of these guys in the crowd. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Conor. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Kel. I'm coming for you. Anybody else who wants it, we're going to put on a show for the fans, that's for sure.
Whether or not you'll concede it, it just seemed that you were different this week. You were different on the ring walk. You were different from the first bell. Ronnie Davies just said off camera there, the weight had a lot to do with it. Would you concede that you did the weight better this time, that was a factor?
No, the weight had nothing to do with it. My mindset didn't really have anything to do with it either. I'm always focused. You know, it just wasn't my night that night, and I had to prove to the fans and to the boxing public that I am who I say I am. I'm not a pretender. I'm not a fake. I do the things I say I'm going to do. And I'm not really a bad guy either. I know I got booed in here. There's a couple of cheers now, which I appreciate. You know, I'm turning a few people around on the journey, but we still got a long way to go.
I think that's a British boxing crowd. If you get booed in and you perform, you get cheered out. May I ask you about the changes within the team? Big team, they're all surrounding me now. Behind the scenes, I mean, the fact that you changed your regime, changed the personnel, but getting up at 8, nutritionists, things like that, they must have had a factor.
They all add percentages. They all add percentages, and what I've learned over the years is that you have to take every percentage you can. There's some tough men out there in the sport, and they have all hands on deck. So if you don't have the same, you're at a disadvantage.
Come on, man, give your team a shout out.
That anymore.
The nature of this sport, back in January, your career was almost over. Now you're in the position to call for big fights. So if I pushed you for your future, what would you say?
Listen, I want to fight Triple G. I don't know where he is right now, but wherever you are, Kennedy, you know, you've been holding on to them belts for too long. I want to take one, so let's get
He don't have no belts.
100%.
Well done to you. Congratulations. Tonight is your night. Thank you very much for talking to us. If Liam Smith will give us a few words, Liam.
We just looked at the rankings. Golovkin don't have no belts. The last one he lost was his IBF.
Everything I'm from start to finish, I feel
Yeah, look at that cut.
I was just flat from the start. I think the weight killed me a little bit after the injury. I was just flat from the get-go and kids were sharp, so it was just that's it. That's all I can really say about it, really.
You probably won't concede it, and I might be able to drag it out of you, but you seem to have some balance issues tonight and went over on those ankles a couple of times.
I couldn't move my feet, and then when I did move my feet back, I rolled my ankle. I've got dodgy ankles anyway, haven't I? So like, it's just fucking one of them things. But no, Chris was the better man tonight. I shout when I win. I'll take my defeat when I lose.
What do you want to do next? I mean, that makes it 1-1.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I think everyone knows. I think Chris knows how I was with the weight. You know, to say it at the weigh-in, and you know, after the injury, I come down 3 stone. So it's a lot of weight to shift in a short space of time. But that's all I can put my finger on. You know, I was flat as know, flat as they come from the get-go, couldn't move my feet, and Chris was sharp early on, so fair play to him.
Commiserations.
Next one, mate.
Now, see, well, then listen, don't get that big then. Okay, all right, I get it. You was injured, but talking about you went up in weight, you know, from the injury, don't get that big. You know, during the Canelo fight, he kept doing that weird thing when he kept rolling over on his ankle. I remember Max Kellerman kept bringing it up. But as far as the third fight, let me know how you guys feel down below in the comments about that, because I'm not too interested in it. But now we know what what Eubank wants to do. He wants Kell Brook, who was in the crowd, and Kell Brook was looking at the fight. But do you really? Here's the thing: I would entertain it, but I don't know how I will feel if I'm like if I see that announcement. Oh, Kell Brook versus Eubank Jr. is happening. Okay, all right. Like there's interest, but I'm not. You know, I'm not like, yo, oh shit, that's gonna be something. The Conor Ben fight, but Conor Ben's got the eggs and his shit going on. You know, is he even cleared to fight yet? You know, he was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao and all that. So I'm not counting him until we know that he can actually fight somewhere. And then how would that happen when Conor Ben is a matchroom fighter right now? Wasserman works with matchroom and boxers, so you know what's going on with that. And does Liam Smith have another rematch clause that he can possibly invoke for a third fight to possibly stop whatever potential fights that Eubank Jr. wants to fight? So there's still a lot of questions, but as far as the title concerned, I think that Ali Hanallah or Gutierrez would be open to fighting a Chris Eubank Jr., especially if it happens in the UK, would be some money there. But besides that, Everson Delara is not available. He's going to be fighting Danny Garcia with Mixed Rafa on the undercard, who took a step-aside agreement, so the WBA belt is tied up. The WBC belt is tied up. Jamal Charlo is allowed to be able to hold on to his WBC title because of mental health issues. So the WBC don't want to strip him. And it's just like, hey, like you're holding up the whole division. You know, I get it. Mental health, I get it. I go through this shit too. Everybody goes through this shit. But you're holding up the division. And before he do anything, he got to fight Caleb Plant because Caleb Plant smacked him in the face. Okay? You can't fight nobody else until you fight Caleb Plant. He smacked you in your face and you ain't do nothing. So just give the belt to Carlos Adames, move up to 168 and fight Caleb Plant on your own card, on Showtime, on undercard, of David Benavidez and motherfucking Demetrius Andrade, on undercard of Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence too. But Jamal Charlo has got to fight Caleb Plant. He smacked him. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe, and TstreeT Controversy with 5v360.